I call the member for Monaro.
Speaker, I wanted to report to the House tonight on a number of election commitments and progress on those that I made at the last election. Most of these are capital commitments, but before doing that, I'd note that my core commitment to the people of Monaro was to make sure that we didn't do what the Nationals did when they held the seat, which was run around with big cheques, open buildings, but without anybody inside to work in those buildings. So I'm really pleased at the progress we've made over 18 months in things like ensuring that we've reduced the number of classes that don't have teachers by increasing teachers' pay, and I'm really very pleased that I've now, very different to 18 months ago, not getting parents coming to me all the time and telling me that their children have been put in playgrounds for hours on end because there was no teachers in their classrooms, and that putting people into the buildings to actually staff them and provide services was a core commitment I made to the people of Monaro. But there is also a number of capital commitments which are important to report on, and I was very pleased to join the Honourable Tara Moriarty recently in confirming the $1.9 million for the Queanbeyan City Football Club for their new facilities at High Street Football Ground. A well-deserved commitment for them for a club which is the oldest football club in Queanbeyan and has been an integral part of the Macedonian community in Queanbeyan for that time. We've also seen funding for change rooms at two of the other facilities in Queanbeyan, the Ruse Club and Seaford Oval. And it's great to have the Regional Transport Minister with us here today because several of our roads funding commitments have been delivered as well. Smiths Road funding, Nerriga Road funding, noise monitoring on Ellerton Drive have all been passed on to the councils and ready to deliver. The planning for the intersection, which the locals call the Spotlight intersection roundabout, is also underway in the Transport for New South Wales. One thing which we didn't make an election commitment on, but which I've been working on with the Minister's Department and I'd love to see some progress on, is safer crossing points in Bungendore on the Kings Highway. We've also made really good progress on our commitment to fund an expansion of the Queanbeyan Basketball Stadium. That's been a complicated project because it is an oldish stadium at the moment and it's going to have to be a staged approach to the development. But it's been great to work with the basketball community in Queanbeyan who've been incredibly constructive in the way they've engaged. I'm pleased to say construction is also underway on Yvonne Kashiri House and that's going to provide a wonderful respite facility. I'd have to say I've spent quite a bit of the last 18 months fixing problems left to us with projects started by the last government but which didn't have appropriate thought and process put in place. And one of the key ones of those is Bungendore High School. I've spoken to the House about that previously. Bungendore High School was announced in a location with no community consultation, a location which then produced a whole range of legal challenges and community problems. And we've now had to solve that by moving the site of the school. And I'm pleased that we will, within the next few weeks, have publicly released the plans on the new site for people to look at. And that's going to be a really big step forward on that project. A number of other projects where we've had to fix problems left by the previous government, and again the Minister for Regional Roads is well aware of this one, the Jindabyne School Precinct, where the previous government started construction on a fantastic new school but didn't fund the road connection or the electricity connection or the footpaths to actually go to the school, and also didn't actually foreshadow that more funding was needed. So we had to come into government and find that additional funding for a project which supposedly was fully funded. Another smaller one, the Anembo mobile phone tower, announced with great fanfare by one of my predecessors as member for Monaro that they'd funded a phone tower. Literally they did. They funded the tower but not the connection, the backbone connection to the network. It's taken a long time to actually resolve that and get landowner permissions to put the optic fibre cable through to the phone tower. Much slower than I would have liked to see in the delivery of that, but hopefully is going to happen in the not too distant future. The Snowy Sap, again a big project, but one where we're planning for 30 years growth for Jindabyne, but without thinking about planning for any delivery of future health services in the area. Again, you would have thought a logical thing to do. But Madam Speaker, the projects which we made commitments to during the last election, I'm pleased to say are well on track. I will continue to update the House and the electorate on those as we move forward. A number, of course, that I haven't mentioned here tonight, but which I look forward to delivering as we move forward over the next couple of years.